we were forced to take a push on the Nathan Fletcher legs of the Locky two-step and Locky Trinity, but luckily the other two spots came through for us, so we're still able to cash there. We had Jacqueline Cavalcante in the Locky two-step with Nathan Fletcher, but we also had Francis Marshall in the Locky Trinity. You were able to hit both of those, maybe at reduced odds, but still they counted towards the record nonetheless. And yeah, very happy about that. Obviously, got another Locky two-step and Locky Trinity for you guys this weekend. I do want to remind you about OKTAGON and Cage Warriors and ACA going down this weekend. I'll have written breakdowns for all those promotions on the MMA LOTN Patreon page, which is also where I drop these parlays nice and early in the week for the guys so they're able to get better lines more often than not. Maybe not so much this week. That's where you're going to be able to get it, the MMA LOTN Patreon page. All right, let's not waste too much more time. Let's get right into it. First step up in the Locky two-step is going to be Andre Petroski as he takes on Dylan Budka. Budka comes from a wrestling background, but Petroski is a better grappler overall. His BJJ black belt will allow him to dictate where this fight takes place, and I think he is far more suited for the mixed martial arts game than the bullying tactics of Budka. Petroski has a way tougher strength of schedule as well, and I think that will show here as he breaks Budka down and eventually finishes him by submission. I think it happens within 10 minutes or so. The second step in the Locky two-step is going to be Natalia Silva as she takes Jessica Andrade in the co-main event slot. And I think that this is a great matchup for Silva to showcase what she's so good at. Her perpetual lateral movement is going to cause Jessica Andrade a ton of trouble. Andrade loves to lead with her head and throw wide-winging hooks, which will allow Silva to counter her down the pipe repeatedly, which could lead to a knockout victory for Silva. But regardless, as long as she ends up getting her hand raised here, landing more damaging blows, she should be able to get out on ahead and win this fight either on the scorecards or by knockout, and hopefully cashing our Locky two-step, which I was able to lock in a few days ago at -121. A little bit of action has come in on Dylan Budka, which now brings the line down to -118. Slightly better than when I dropped it to the Patreon folks. Now, talking of the Locky Trinity, we're going to go to the main event and add in Sean Brady as he takes on Gilbert Burns. And Burns, in my opinion, has been a little bit overrated throughout his run at welterweight, getting some favorable matchups. And then whenever he faces somebody that can provide him legitimate resistance, that's where he ends up coming up short. When he can't lean on his wrestling and is just forced to strike, that's where he starts getting broken and eventually beaten. I think Brady can dictate the pace of this matchup, utilizing his wrestling and keeping Burns on his back. And I think Brady is a good enough BJJ specialist that he can nullify any of Burns' grappling approaches. I think this will allow Brady to break him down over the first 2 to 3 rounds and eventually finish him in the 3rd or 4th round. Hopefully cashing our Locky Trinity, which I was able to lock in at +187, but it's a little bit of action coming in on Brady this last few days has actually kept this line at +187. There you guys go. Locky two-step, Locky Trinity. I'll see you guys later today for the 3 best prop bets for UFC Vegas 97.